welcome to everyone assembled here. May I take the pleasure of requesting a respected principal, Dr. Bimal Vio, whose expertise and knowledge has always been used to carve out the best from the students, to give the welcome address.
Hari Om. Good morning, dear students, parents, management committee members, head of the institutions, fellow faculty members, staff, and all other Chinmaya family members. Education is about far more than what happens within the four walls of these classrooms, and we are very fortunate to have such a management who recognize this. Our institute believes not only in academic qualifications but also for personal qualities like leadership, teamwork, determination, confidence, self-belief, respect, spirituality, etc. It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you all a very warm greetings on behalf of Chinmaya Institute of Technology, Kannur. Together, as a family of Chintech, to mark another landmark of success, allow me to welcome you all to this induction program for MBA and MCA students for the academic year 2023-24. On this pleasant and joyful morning of induction program, it is my privilege to do this welcome speech. He hardly needs any introduction. Rajan sir, you have made all of us proud by your distinguished work in numerous capacities. He is a man of distinct vision and backbone of Chinmaya Mission Kannur, and the head of illuminating ideas, experience, and inspiration to all of us. I consider it a great honor to welcome our Chief Sevak, Sri K.K. Rajanji, the renowned and gracious dignitary, to come and occupy the seat on the dais. Next, Secretary, Chinmaya Mission Kannur, former President of North Malabar Chamber of Commerce, one of the hard workers behind Kannur International Airport. I take immense pleasure in calling upon the visionary person and ever cheerful Sri Mahesh Chandra Baliga to the dais. His presence is a reflection of the importance that is attached to the commitment of Chinmaya colleges in Kerala to qualify augmentation of student education. We seek to be inspired by your gracious presence. I am glad to invite Honorable Zonal Director of Chinmaya Colleges in Kerala and the Dean of Chinmaya Institute of Technology, Professor C.P. Srinath, to grace the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, we rarely get this kind of an opportunity to listen to the words of great personalities. I welcome today's special guest, Mr. Vaishag and Mrs. Nadira Hasna. Welcome to the dais. Mr. Vaishag is currently working in Adobe. Adobe is an American multinational computer software company incorporated in Delaware and headquarters in San Jose, California. He deals with supporting employees with their grievances, offering various policy guidelines to employees, guiding managers on how to effectively manage performance, formulating and implementing various policies, processes, and frameworks to enhance employee experience. Mrs. Nadira Hasna, Vice President and Senior Engineer Manager at Wells Fargo. Mrs. Nadira is the only woman in India to obtain the highest CCI certification in computer networking. Her struggle coupled with the strong determination brought her all the way where she is now. We are very happy to get such an eminent personality to inaugurate our Research and Development Center. I take this opportunity to invite our beloved head of the Department of MBA, Dr. Navya V, to grace the dais. Lastly and importantly, I would like to welcome all the management committee members, Dr. Piridanan, Balansar, head of the Chinmaya, other Chinmaya institutions, faculty members, staff and students who are the integral part of this institute and have always supported the vision and mission of the Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. I request all for your kind cooperation throughout the program and making a grand success. Thank you, Hari Om.
Thank you, sir.
A single lamp can light hundreds more, just as a man of knowledge can give it to many more. Now, let us move on to the inaugural ceremony.
I request our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Vaishak Ravindran, HR Journalist, Adobe, India, to light this auspicious lamp and inaugurate the session. I also request Ms. Nadira Hasna, Vice President, Wells Fargo, to kindly accompany him. May I also request all the dignitaries to please join them.
We are happy and blessed to create a research and development center with a focused program of academic research and technical research in relevant areas. The R&D center will be coordinated by Dr. Kavita Rajan from the Department of Computer Science and Information Technology and Mr. Ashwin Pragad from School of Management Studies. It's a great pleasure, a proud moment, and a much awaited day for the Chintak family, as today we have had the inauguration of the Research and Development Center, which was inaugurated by Ms. Nadira Hasna. It's indeed the contribution and effort of our faculties and students. So let us see some glimpses of that. Rajan, Trustee and Chief Sevak Chinmaya Mission and Secretary, CMECT Kannur, to deliver the presidential address. Shri K.K. Rajan has been serving the Chinmaya Mission Kannur since 1970s.
Hari Om. My humble salutations to everybody assembled here on this auspicious occasion. I met Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda at Trivandrum when he was conducting it in 1969. Pujya Gurudev was staying in the Pattam Palace, and they said only one person, and luckily by the punya of my parents, I got the opportunity to serve Gurudev. It was during that time government of Kerala allotted 55 cents of land to Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Trivandrum. And Puja Gurudev wanted the foundation stone laying ceremony before he left Trivandrum. So he asked, as usual style, can you get a travel in gold? And the organizer said, it will be very expensive. Silver? And she said, silver also? Okay, stainless steel. And went to the shop and told them to what is to be written on the. And somebody was sitting in the satsang, and with a lot of pride, because within such a short time I could get it done, I presented the packet to Swamiji. Swamiji slowly, in his usual, the typical style, opened it, and he was sitting in the first floor, and he opened it at one look, and he threw it out the window. Everybody was laughing. I was virtually becoming. Then I thought that I should find out what it was, why it is. So it almost took, because the palace was not occupied for such a long time. So it took almost 25 to 30 minutes to get it. Twice or thrice I couldn't. Then I found that the spelling for instead of foundation, it was T, F-O-U-N-T instead of D. And when it came back to and Swamiji asked in Malayalam, Kittiyo. And the next question was, how did you get a first class degree in engineering without knowing the spelling of foundation? So that is, Gurudev was so careful and to look into all the details, and whether it is crowd for 10 or 10,000, his deliverance will be of the equal standard. When we applied for the affiliation of the Chinmaya Institute of Technology for the MBA and MCA program, the interview was held at the TKM Engineering College, Koilon. And all of them have come with the resources showing that they can take up not only one college, we can 10 colleges. And I had hardly some 5 lakhs rupees deposits. And luckily the professor who came from the IIT Bombay, she said, because she felt that something is wrong because I am a little bit shaky. I know this organization, they can build not only one university, 10 universities. I am staying near. That is how we got the affiliation cleared for the Chinmaya Institute of Technology. All these years, our faculty have been doing extremely good work. It is not the credit for the management, it is for the teachers who have put forth their best efforts, and we hope that we will continue to top the institution, not only in Kerala but India. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
We have with us Mr. Mahesh Ravalika, Secretary, Chinmaya Mission Kannur, Trustee, CMECT Kannur, and former President, North Malabar Chamber of Commerce. Focus on Narayana and Lakshmi will follow has been the mantra of Sri Mahesh Ravalika, who has over 4 decades of association with Chinmaya Mission. He was involved in assisting and promoting infrastructural projects in Kannur and has a prominent role in laying the foundation stone of Kannur International Airport. He is currently the International Director of North Malabar Chamber of Commerce. May I request Sri Mahesh Ravalika to offer a felicitation.
Respected Sri K.K. Rajan, Chief Sevak CMECT and the President of the meeting, Professor C.P. Srinath, Zonal Director of Chinmaya Colleges, Kerala, Sri Dr. Vimal B.O., Principal Chintech, Sri Vaishak Ravindran, Nadira Hasna, Dr. Navya, Sri A.V. Balan, Director of the Chinmaya Management Board, Dr. Preeta Anand, Vice President of the Chinmaya Mission and Director of the Chinmaya Institutions Management Board, and other faculties, my dear students and parents. outset, let me congratulate all of you for choosing the Institute of Technology to pursue your education in the field of MBA and NCA. Can I know why did you choose the Chinmaya Institute of Technology? There are so many institutions in and around Kannur, but what prompted you to select the Chinmaya Institute of Technology? Can I have one or two answers? Come on, you are not 8th standard students, you are all professional students. In a year or two, you are going to be the executives of various companies. And if you are reluctant or even if you don't know why you joined here, I want one from this side and one from this side. Is it because your parents just put you and you didn't have any choice? Yeah. Thank you. Pardon? Name. Okay. Anyway, I don't think you have made a wrong choice, because at the end of your course, you will all be very happy and will never regret that you joined the Chinmaya Institute of Technology. As he said, the name Chinmaya itself makes a difference. Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji, when he started the Chinmaya mission in 1952, over a period of time, he felt that through the education institution is the best way to promote the Indian culture and heritage. And he started the Chinmaya Vidyalayas initially, and he said that my school should be a school with a difference, not a normal school or a school which any other school. Similarly, when the institutions like colleges started, he said that my institutions should be an institution with a difference. And over the last 21 years, the Chinmaya Institute of Technology has been working as an institution with a difference, and majority of the students who have graduated from this institution are all doing very well by the blessings of Puja Gurudev. As my young friend said, that the strength of this institution is both the infrastructure and a set of dedicated and trained and efficient faculties who have been working tirelessly for bringing up this institution. At this institution, we just not believe in giving you the book knowledge or training you to write for the exam. It is an overall development that you are going to see in the next 2 years. The program that you are going to see tomorrow is just a beginning of what is in store for you in the next 2 years. No other institution will spend so much of money to give a training program for their new students. So I congratulate the entire team of the faculties and the principal for coming out with this innovative induction program. We have other programs like the every year we go out, no? We go, yeah. The empowerment program is the strength of the CIT. The students are taken to various places depending on your course, to Delhi, Siliguri or the Chinmaya International Foundation, and there is a kind of training that is imparted to you, and various leaders of the industry will be addressing you students. These are all the various projects and the programs that is planned by the Chinmaya Institute of Technology, and I'm sure that in the next 2 years you will all be equipped, not just the theoretical knowledge that is required to write your exam, but develop your skills to face the corporate world once you come out of your once you graduate. My best wishes to all of you and for the empowerment program which has been planned by the college authorities. And once again, I hope the blessings of Puja Gurudev for all of you to complete your studies in a flying colors. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Today we have with us Professor Sri P. Srinath, Honorary Dean and Zonal Director, Chinmaya Colleges of Kerala and Trustee, CMECT. A dedicated teacher and a passionate administrator, Professor C. P. Srinath has over 3 decades of service with Sri Narayana College, Kottara. Despite his official retirement from academics, Professor Srinath is active in his association with alumni, parents and scholars of many educational institutions, Kannur. Presently, he serves as Zonal Director, Chinmaya Colleges in Kerala. May I welcome Professor C. P. Srinath for the felicitation.
Hari Om. Guest of honor of the day, Mr. Vaishak and Mrs. Nadira, respected Chief Secretary Rajan sir, my colleague on the management, Mr. Ramesh Chandra Baliga, Principal Dr. Bimal, Dr. Navya, and my other colleagues on the management, on the audience, Mr. Balan Master and Dr. Preeta Anand, esteemed members of the faculty of Chinmaya Institute of Technology, MBA and MCA, other staff members of Chintech, especially the newly inducted students. This is your day. I extend a very, very warm welcome to all the newly inducted students to MCA and MBA batch of this year. You will really be proud of being part of the Chinmaya Institute of Technology. That is what our experience states for the last over 20 years. The reason why you have selected the Chinmaya Institute of Technology, there are many reasons for that. We have good placements, and then we have 2 very, very important persons here who can be influenced with your interaction, so that they will be interested in taking students from our institution to their big companies. Then what has been lacking when we talk to the parents when they inquire about Chintech, and why they feel like that they sometimes think of taking our students not in Kerala, outside Kerala or even abroad, is because their inability to do the communication in English. So this is the area where you have all got to develop. There is good support from Chintech, but only if you yourself put in your effort to improve, there is a way out. There is a wonderful saying in English, you can take a horse to the water, but you can never make it drink. So the teachers here can take you to the water, but you yourself have to decide that you have to drink. Only then you will improve. And very often it has been mentioned, but we still find our students sometimes unable to communicate in English because you don't get yourself prepared for that. So one thing that you should all try to do is, as much as possible, try to interact between yourselves in English, so that your English will be improved. And you know, when you go for interview, whether it is online or offline, it is all your good English which attracts them to be selected. So that is what you have to work. The other things, as my Chandra Balika has mentioned, it is education with the difference that is imbibed in all our institutions. You may be proud to know that we have around 90 Chinmaya Vidyalayas all around India and 9 colleges, and all these places students are all doing well. Results are very often in schools and all 10%. They are doing wonderful job throughout, and good placements are happening in the Chintech and other institutions. And another very interesting thing that Rajan sir has mentioned about the coming up of Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth near Ernakulam, big university, a deemed university, which will be becoming very popular in the coming days. Good campus is coming up. A lot of construction is going on. Within a year, I think it will be inaugurated, and you can also become part of it. So I don't take much of your time. So I take this opportunity to congratulate all those who have decided to join Chinmaya Institute of Technology, and I wish you all the best, and definitely Puja Gurudev's grace and blessings will be with you so that you will come out in flying colors. And one thing more I would like to add is Puja Gurudev has been a good exponent of English language, and he has written a lot of books. Even small quotations are there. Even reading that is enough for you to find out solutions from various problems of your life. So try to get a book from the Chinmaya Vani or somewhere, you can, or in the library. Quotes from Chinmaya, Swami Chinmayananda is there. You just read it once and then you would understand. Here are the answers for various problems that I have been searching for solutions. So with that note, I conclude, wishing you once again all the very best. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Navya V, HOD, School of Management Studies, Chinmaya Institute of Technology, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Hari Om. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, new members of MBA and MCA batch of 23-25, family members, other staff members, and my dear students. A very warm good morning to all of you. Excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude, and the right attitude makes the right difference. Today, as we embark on a new journey together, I feel incredibly honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks. I deem it a privilege to extend my warm regards and gratitude to Ms. Nadira Hasna, Vice President, Wells Fargo, Bangalore, for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion by inaugurating a much-awaited Research and Development Center of the Institute. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are looking forward to your perspective in the keynote session that is coming up. I take this opportunity with pride to extend our deep sense of gratitude to Mr. Vaishak Ravindran, HR Generalist, Adobe Systems India Private Limited, Bangalore, for inaugurating the 4-day induction program meant for the student empowerment and upliftment. Thank you so much, sir. We are really honored and privileged. We are also looking forward to your words of wisdom and experience through the keynote address. I'd like to thank the visionary, the driving force, and the strongest support of the Institute, Shri K.K. Rajan, Chief Saver, CMACT Kannur, for his valuable presence and for the presidential address. Thank you so much, sir. I'd like to thank Shri Mahesh Chandra Balika, Secretary, Chinmaya Mission Kannur, whose consistent support and encouragement had added immense value to all the endeavors initiated by this institute. Thank you so much, sir, for the felicitations. No words to express our deep sense of gratitude to Professor C.P. Srinath, Honorary Dean and Zonal Director at Chinmaya Colleges, Kerala, whose unstinted support and guidance had a profound impact in all our projects and assignments. Thank you, sir, for the felicitations. I would also like to thank our management committee members who are present here gracing this occasion and also being a part of the inaugural function. Thank you so much, Bal sir and ma'am. Now let me thank our principal, Dr. Vimal V.O., for being the catalyst who inspired us to do our best and stood by us as a dynamic team leader and a team player as well. Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank the students of MBA and MCA batch of 23-25 who have gathered here in spite of the weather perils, enthusiastically waiting for the power-packed 4 days of induction program and residential workshop. I welcome you first and also thank you. It is a testament of hard work and dedication that we are able to reach this milestone. The wheel started moving weeks ago. It entailed planning and lot of execution difficulties. So in spite of all the challenges, we could make this day, a great beginning and a great start. So we've been blessed and fortunate to be supported by all the members of this institute. I thank all the committee members, the invitation committee, the program committee, food and accommodation, the registration committee, to name a few, comprising of both teaching as well as the non-teaching departments. I lack words for their participation and willingness to complete the task beyond their comfort zone. So we've been working tirelessly and relentlessly for the past few weeks, irrespective of the working as well as the non-working days. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to thank the student volunteers who were extending their valuable support everywhere in spite of their busy academic schedules, and we were also having the assessments in between. So hats off to the task force. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the media for the coverage of the event, the hostel authorities, as well as the caterers. I take this opportunity to thank the resource persons for the upcoming Eye to Eyes, the 2-day residential workshop, Mr. Devendranath Chankaranaran and his team inside our Performance Collective, Kochi, for taking their time sitting with us, discussing and finalizing the design of the program according to our requirement. I also would like to thank Brahmacharini Rojisha, Chinmaya Mission Kasargod, for accepting our invitation to engage the students on mind management. Now, looking forward for a spectacular, eventful 4 consecutive days of activity-oriented, motion-oriented residential workshop. Thank you so much and have a great day.
A very warm morning. Good morning to everyone. All right, some more energy. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Okay, very good. Thank you for the warm introduction. Firstly, I would like to begin by submitting my humble pranams to the founding fathers of this esteemed institution. And of course, my gratitude and thanks to Dr. Bimal, Principal, Ms. Nadira, again, my, the Vice President of Wells Fargo, for she would also be taking you through a lot of, she will bring you closer to the industry. And Sri K.K. Rajan sir, Sri Mahesh Chandra Baliga sir, Professor C.P. Srinath, the HOD Dr. Navya, and so Dr. Nadira, Ms. Nadira Hasna, and thanks to Dr. Nishit for having me here over at your beautiful campus this morning. I know it was a rainy morning, but all of you all have taken that effort to cross that obstacle and then reach the campus on time. Thank you so much for the energy. I also learned from my sources that it was Dr. Nishit's birthday yesterday, and I convey my warm birthday greetings to you. And many congratulations to this university for hosting the induction program. It is a lot of effort that the faculty will be putting in for the next 4 days. Ensure that you give your more than 100%. And I will quickly move through some content that I've prepared for you. So this will not be technical at all, and I will come closer to you. So I will talk a little bit. I'll have this structured. So I have 45 minutes of time. Excellent, okay. So I will ensure that all of you are engaged, okay? Right? Great. So I've structured this particular session in such a way that I will talk a little bit of the organization where I come from. My background, you all are already aware. A little bit about what my organization does, and I will tell you what to do and maybe what not to do. Both sides of the coin. Okay? Alright. So moving ahead, just to talk about Adobe. How many of you have heard about Adobe? Raise your hands. What products? PDF? Photoshop. Photoshop is a very, so we'll say, okay, I'll get you Photoshop. So that's Photoshop is one of our products. So it was founded by Chuck Geschke and John Warner. So it is headquartered in San Jose, and recently, I don't know if you know, Adobe turned 20 years old in India, or 20 years young in India, and of course, globally we are 30 years old as I am. Okay? And we all grew up, I know, using Adobe products, and just to give you some numbers, the financial numbers of how we are doing, I know that may be irrelevant, but we need to understand what, I'm giving you a perspective about what an organization, how you define an organization when you get into placements. So what is the revenue? How good is the organization doing? So we just achieved $17.61 billion US dollars in the final fiscal year in 2022. So which represents over 12% year-over-year growth. I didn't tell you this year's figures, but that's not important anyway at this stage. So this is a little bit about our CEO, Shantanu Narayan. How many of you have seen him recently? He was in the White House. He met the US President. He was invited when our Prime Minister Modi was there in the White House for a state dinner. So just a brief about him. He's done his Bachelor's of Engineering from Osmania University, Hyderabad. Very much from India. And again, Master's from Bowling Green State University. He holds 5 patents. Before joining Adobe, he worked with Apple and he founded a company himself. And then he was a recipient of the Padma Shri, which is one of India's highest civil awards. And then he is also a vice chairman of the US-India Strategic Partnership Forum. So again, these are all important portfolios that he holds. And he believes in driving the company strategy to unleash creativity for all. Okay, creativity is an important aspect. So just because we are students of MBA does not mean we don't do anything without creativity. Creativity in having this brochure today, there's creativity involved in every aspect that we do. And then we accelerate document productivity with our PDFs. All of you all have used PDFs for your assignments. And then he joined in 1998. So that's just a brief about him. That's something that you can find on Google as well. So just a quick video about what Adobe Express is, one of our latest products. Okay. So thank you so much for watching it. That is a latest product that we have, and that is something that we've used artificial intelligence in it. So what talk today happens without the use of AI, right? All of you are more aware than I am probably perhaps. So moving ahead, if you don't have Adobe Express on your phones, it's free. You can go ahead and download and design brochures like this. And just a trivia, my engagement invite I made using this software. So yeah. So moving ahead, there is one interesting video that I want you to look at as MBA or MCA students. You need to look at this video, observe it very carefully, and come to me and let me know what are the kinds of behaviors or actions or traits that you noticed. It's a very important video. Please watch it. You can play the video. Alright. So, some interesting aspects. All of you will watch the video. I want you to tell me what are the kinds of actions or behaviors that you noticed by the protagonists, the kids. Very quickly, you can raise your hands. Yes? Initiative and teamwork. Excellent. Very good. Oh, he stole your answer. Okay. One more. Anything else? From here, from MCA or MBA? Confidence. Very good. Helping mentality, helping the society. From the volunteers. I'll take one. Hold on. Okay, alright, excellent. We'll go through it. Those boys were genuine, they really wanted to help. They showed exemplary leadership in solving a given problem. They were very proactive. They had a positive influence on the rest of the people. They were courageous, they thought out of the box, and they had concern for the community. Very, very important. They gave it back to the community. Moving ahead, I've been invited today to give you some mantras for success. I will tell you what worked for me. Okay, I'm not an avid reader, very honestly. I don't read novels. I just read some self-help books, but this is something when I was asked to do a presentation. Some of the thoughts randomly hit my head, so I'm just going to browse through these slides, okay? Alright, so the first mantra is have confidence in yourself. All of you all are here today. You all have come, you all have beaten the monsoon, you all have woken up. It is a new day. You have walked, brushed your teeth, come all the way here, beaten the monsoon, and you all are here awake. That also is an effort. So have confidence in yourself first. Number 2, be authentic, be genuine, be yourself. You don't have to be anybody else. You just have to be you. Each one of you today have your own unique talent. One person may be a good orator, one person can be a good artist, a poet, anything else. Keep it yourself, okay? And then be yourself. This is one of our values of Adobe, being genuine. So we really stick to, respecting talent. Next, ethics and morals and values. You can look at this slide. I cannot fathom how important this particular slide is because today, what's your good name? Abhinjini is here and we have Ramisa and Abhinjini. Ramisa will get 85%. Ramisa will also get 85%. But what differentiates between both? What makes you unique is your values and ethics. So, no matter how educated you are, no matter how big you are, ensure you stick to your ground values and ethics. Okay? Very, very important. And this is something, trust me, it will keep you very differentiated amongst the rest of the people. Be good and be true to yourself. There are two kinds of educations in life. So, one is the education for living and one is for life. So, there's one saying by Sri Mata Amritanandini Devi. I just happened to read one of her sessions. Just watch it. So, she says there are two kinds of education. One is for living, your formulas, differentiation, integration, all of these aspects. But the second one is life. What is the kind of education you get for life, the values? And this value, see, living, education for living, you can get in any university. You can join online, Udemy, have your online courses, etc. But what gives you values, education for life, is institutes like this and around Kerala. So, ensure that you get the values also out of your education. I will take you through the 5 questions, the kind of, all of the intelligence quotient. So basically there are about 5 quadrants I want to take you through. Okay? So the first quadrant will be the intelligence quotient, is all the memory, how good you can learn your formulas, how good you can work, etc. So that's important. Your scores are important, no doubt about it. Emotional quotient. How good you are, how would you understand your emotions, how does your emotions impact others, what do you think the other person is thinking or feeling, is she feeling sad, is she feeling restless today, is she feeling unwell, you need to know that as well, and how good, what is the kind of influence that your emotions has on others. So that's emotional quotient for you. And that was quoted by Daniel Goleman. So that's a big research topic. So that's something that we may want to research on. And then wellness quotient, a very, very important aspect. How well you are. Do you do sports? 1 hour of physical activity in a day. That's very, very important. Are you keeping yourself healthy? How good is your health? Are you able to work out in the gym or maybe play badminton? Anything for that matter. Lastly, spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient is another aspect. We can call God in different forms and different ways. But at the end of the day, zoning out and praying is a very, very important aspect. So please go ahead and do that. And it keeps you sane. A new quotient again that has recently come up, cultural quotient in organizations. So cultural quotient means we have a lot of people in an organization. It can be Wells Fargo, it can be Adobe, it can be Chintech. Chintech is an organization by itself. Within Chintech, we have different people from different states, different economic backgrounds, different age groups, etc. How we ensure? So basically the definition of cultural quotient is we grow up in a certain background, yes or no, in our household. But we shouldn't be thinking our background is superior to others. That's a wrong way to do it. We need to understand we are just different from one another. We are just unique and different from one another. So that's what cultural quotient speaks about. Again, the 5 Qs, just summarizing, take a moment to look at it. IQ, EQ, wellness quotient, spiritual quotient, and cultural quotient. So the 4 Qs that you see in the slide, I learned it from one of the professors attending a seminar just like this in my MBA. So that I wanted to pass it on to you. What do you see in this picture? Come on, one person can stand up. What do you see in the picture?
Puppy smiling.
Puppy smiling. But what do you see about the puppy? A comb. What does it signify? Quickly, someone? Ramisa, right? Yes, Ramisa. What does the picture signify? Someone is combing the puppy. So what does it mean? Grooming. Grooming is very important. We all need to dress per the occasion. So if we're going to a wedding and we go into a wedding with torn jeans, not appropriate, right? So if you're heading into a seminar, if you're going to an interview, you can't wear a printed t-shirt, can you? Like this, all of you all should be dapper. So that is very, very important. As recruiters would definitely notice. These are very fundamental things and very important. Is your shoe polished? Are you looking well? And you don't have to wear Armani, nothing. Zara, no. Anything good, anything nice that you're comfortable with, that's all I'm saying, but something that is per the occasion, that is apt for the occasion. Okay, that is a very, very important thing. Are your nails cut? Important. Okay, these are very small things. Listen. A very, very fundamental thing is one needs to listen. The more we listen, the more receptive we get. We should be more like an antenna. So what does an antenna do? It receives the FM signals, correct? So the more we listen, the more we learn. Okay? There are other aspects also I want to take you through. But the more we go through, just sit in a quiet room. Of course, I was sitting here on stage, the valedictory or the inauguration speech was happening. Each of them had a wonderful point, each of the guests had a wonderful point to make. If each one of us take one small drop of the goodness that they have told, then that's made a difference. It's worthwhile that. Okay? Listen. Observe. So we have many people today. We don't have a lack of population at all. We look around, we see 100 different things, 100 different businesses. How is the other person doing things? How am I presenting? You can do it in your own way. You don't have to do it like me, but do it in your own way. Okay? But observation is very important. Communicate. So communication is a very, very important aspect. Learn to communicate effectively. Okay? Be crisp, be concise. Okay, there are aspects where you have to get detailed, but ensure communication is given more emphasis on. So, one of the speakers here did focus on how to improve the English communication. Let me tell you today, Kerala is a change state. I say it because my origins are from here. I grew up outside of Kerala, and what Kerala was 15-20 years ago and what Kerala is now is entirely different, and my heart swells with pride. Because today you all have access, you have always had access to good education. You all have had access to, today you have access to all of these online platforms, online Netflix, Amazon Prime. So many good documentaries. You don't have to necessarily go get into a spoken English class. Listen and observe. All of us, we grew up watching Malayalam movies. Yes or no? Mohanlal, Mammootty, yes. So I, likewise, unfortunately, in the initial stages of time, I did not grow up watching Malayalam movies. So my Malayalam is not great. So I'm learning to speak now. And how do I do that? How do I connect back with my roots? That's when I grew up, I realized, oh my God, I don't know as much Malayalam. And I'm not able to connect with the people of Kerala. So what did I do? I started watching Malayalam movies. Take my word, 8 out of 10 Malayalam movies I watch now are Malayalam. Movies now I watch are Malayalam. I'm telling you, this is the right number. And maybe 1 or 2 will be English and 1 will be Hindi if someone pulls me to the theatre. What should you do in return? Yes? I'm not advocating. Regionality is a very, very important aspect. But if we want to get better at one aspect, we need to ensure that we change our behaviors accordingly. Okay? Validate. We are surrounded by data today. Surrounded by information. Everywhere. We have WhatsApp University. We have the kind of information that we are getting. We are not validating anything. Is this true? Is this not true? They say drink 8 liters of water a day. You will be all hale and healthy. But when you go speak to a urologist, he will say drink when you are thirsty. Your body will give you that kind of a signal. Now you see me, I'm profusely sweating here with the coat and with the with the monsoon and everything. But what I'm trying to say is, you need to take valid information. Ensure that you get your information from the right sources. It is very, very important. Okay? Never stop learning. I cannot emphasize any more. We all start as students, so the moment we finish the MCA or MBA course, we may have an impression that, oh, okay, I have a double graduate or I am a PhD. If you actually speak to the PhD professors here, I was just talking to Dr. Binoy in the morning, they still subscribe to these newsletters, all of these aspects. It's, even though you have a doctorate, learning is a constant process. It just continues, you just cannot stop. Even when you're, even when you're in an organization. So in an organization, when you're in a team setting, you need to ensure that how better you are from one another. And only thing that can differentiate is, like I said, values and learning. So how better do you get? Now I have people in my own team who are from IIMs. I didn't come from any IIM, but they come in with a different zeal, right? But how better can you catch up with them? But perspective changes. So never ever be hungry for learning, if not for food, but for learning as well. Curiosity. Be naturally curious. So what does Vaishak do? So you invited me today. I will still spend some time after the session. What do I do in the organization? I know the intro was given very beautifully, but you can still come to me and ask, what are the skills that I have? What should I do? Not just me. Suppose you meet, Mr. Paliga here. So he has a wealth of experience of, establishing the airport. I really wanted to talk to him about how this particular airport was established, because Kannur International Airport is atop a mountain. Yes? So how did they do that? How did they go with the documentation? How did they deal with the political leadership? Just be naturally curious. You may be traveling in a bus or a train, but ensure that you speak to people, learn from them. And then curiosity is always a good thing. Stay informed, okay, and current affairs. Nothing like it. So how many of you read the newspaper today? Raise in a show of hands. One, I just have one. That's it. See, So I know people in Kerala, I think this also, I say this with pride because they love their newspapers. Okay, we get our information from that. Please ensure you read your newspapers. You need to know what is happening in your neighborhood. So today morning, yesterday again I was told by Dr. Nishad that okay, I think there was a flood alert given by the government. How would you even know when you're not reading? So you need to know what's happening in your community, what's happening in the country. So we now are the president, we are the G20 president for this particular year. Or where did the Prime Minister go? Where did the Foreign Minister travel? These are all very, very relevant things. So it's all very important. What's important? Because every day is a changing day. It's very, very dynamic. So ensure that you all go read your newspapers on a daily basis to have continuity. So who knows, maybe during your interview, the HR may say, okay, what is your opinion on the recent policy or the recent reform? Will you be blank? No? Okay. So ensure that this is given a lot of emphasis. If you're not reading the newspaper, start right now. I'm sure there's a library here. They subscribe to newspapers or magazines. Read anything that is current, like information now. Don't rely on WhatsApp University. Get it from the right sources. Economic Times, Business Insider, Forbes. These are all real data that they research and give you. So ensure that you do that. And when you watch these news, pick the right news channels. That's another added advice I want to give you, because there are news channels where debates, they take table chairs and then they want to throw it away. No. There is a way, there is a proper tonality, there is a certain pace at which you have to speak. So choose, it can be anything, any news. It can be Malayalam, it can be English, anything that you prefer, but watch the news, stay informed. But I would still suggest move over to English debates at this moment in time because you are learning to communicate. Okay, that's the advice. Look around. I want you to take a moment. Look right next to each other. Who's next to you? Just look left and right. Look left and right. What do you see? Okay, I'll go ahead. Yeah. What do you see? Who is she?
Anisha.
No, name I don't want. So what do you see in her? What is she tomorrow? What is she tomorrow? All right. Anyone else? Yeah. Yes. Is she your friend today? Can you imagine tomorrow the same person can be your next partner for business? Yes? Have you imagined? No. You join a campus stating that, oh, he or she is my friend, so let me join Chintech. Who made that decision? My friends are here, so I joined the campus. Never do it. Your next person sitting can be a person who can refer you to your next organization. I don't know, I've been talking to Ms. Nadira here and then I don't know, tomorrow I may even get her to Adobe. Or maybe she may put me to Wells Fargo. So I'm not very sure of how you think as of each other now, but don't see them as competition. Scores are important, but it's not the right way of looking at things. They may be your next business partner, they may be your next mentor, you never know. Okay, have a healthy competition. So look aside and look ahead, aim ahead. Flexibility. So you see a man stretching there, he's doing his workout. Flexibility is the key. So tomorrow you would be hired into an organization, so they would say, okay, you will have to do 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock shift. You will say, okay, no, I think doesn't suit my time. Or maybe they would say, okay, we will give you 7 lakhs per annum package. No, I think it's too less. I think we have to look, you have to pay me more. A big no. Be flexible, right? Now is the time, the more we are flexible, the more we can learn. What you see a sponge, very philosophically speaking, what does a sponge do? It has its perforations. So put it in water, it absorbs water. Why? Because it's flexible. So the more, suppose you put a stone into a water, what happens? Nothing. The water spills out. That's rigidity. So ensure that you remain flexible and at least at the initial years and even for the lifetime as well. So flexibility is a very important aspect. Social media. How many of you use Instagram? Wow, okay. A big number of people, all right. Facebook? I'm thinking the numbers are, no? Just one or two? Okay, I understand, okay. All right. So how about LinkedIn? Wow, quite a lot of you. Good. LinkedIn is a place where you can professionally network. Okay? Again, I will talk about professional networking in my next slide, but ensure that you use social media. All of us today, we are empowered with technology. We have Facebook, we have Instagram and all of these applications. We get to voice our opinions. Suppose, I don't know, maybe, what's your good name again? Afra. Afra may have about 500 followers, or maybe he may have about 1,000 followers. At a click of a button, we're able to spread information. You need to ensure that with that empowerment comes a lot of responsibility, because your personal branding is at stake. Ensure when you're making opinions, you are free to make opinions. Absolutely no problem. But when you're making an opinion, ensure that it is for the good of the society, or it positively influences the society. These are very small aspects that we don't tend to, we can rant up, okay, we can say that, okay, this company cancelled my bus ticket today, I'm disappointed, etc. But ensure that you're channelizing your energy in the right way, okay? And because your social media brand is an important aspect of when we hire. You may never know, there are certain organizations, they check your social profile first, ensure that you are, okay, good person, you're able to express your thoughts and emotions appropriately, and then hire you. Personal branding. Because it's not just the organizational brand. Today I come to you as an ambassador of Adobe, I come to you as an HR of Adobe. Also, when I show you my products, I come to you as a salesman of Adobe to get you onboarded into our products. So these are certain aspects where you need to give your personal branding a lot of importance. Professional networking, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a source of truth. You can go ahead, look at all of the organizations, where are the open positions, approach recruiters, how good you can go ahead and speak to them, what are the latest aspects, what is the latest technology. You sometimes get more information on LinkedIn than reading a book, trust me. And there are a lot of courses that you can take on LinkedIn. So during your vacation, please go ahead and subscribe to their, any of their subscriptions, any of their, training videos. That's something that will help you. And almost coming to the end of the presentation, all of you are being educated in the state of Kerala, Kannur, beautiful place. But how do you give back to the country? What do you see there in the slide? Can someone say? What do you see in the slide? What's there on the left? What do you see? What organ is it? Isn't it a brain running away from India? What is the terminology called? Someone can tell me? Brain drain. Perfect. Brain drain. A lot of us read here, we study here, get a graduation. What do? I'm sure when I ask, a couple of hands will go up. How many of you all want to go Canada, USA? Some hands will definitely go up. Are there? See, that's the thing. We need to understand how we put our country first. Let me tell you, my dear student friends, India is in the cusp of success. We have been voicing out our concerns globally than ever before now, okay? And we are in a good position. The kind of investment that we are getting in, Adobe or Wells Fargo, these are American organizations who are coming in and investing billions of dollars in India. It can be Bangalore, it can be Kannur, it can be anywhere else, Ernakulam, Infotech Park, etc. But they are investing. When they come into India, they do a lot of research. How are the local conditions? Is the government stable? Are the people educated? Where do we get talent? A lot of these numbers go into picture. If they are investing now, and that's the kind of investment we are getting into India, let me tell you, you don't even have to look around. Given the current situation, how many of you knew Operation Ganga? What is Operation Ganga? Recently it happened, quickly. You read it in the newspaper? Operation Ganga, the documentary is out on YouTube, please watch it. Operation Ganga is where the Indian Air Force, the Indian Army, we conducted that operation when the Ukraine-Russia war started. The Indian students were stuck there. And then we got people into the country. There are people investing, they're looking ahead and going to different countries, but they don't know what is the kind of instability that can happen. Here, anything happens. If there is a flood, recently last week the NDRF team visited our office, the National Disaster Relief Force, I think, I hope that I was right, NDRF. They wear these orange suits. So anything happens, the flood or anything, we are entitled to be saved. Or even if we are in a foreign country, we have our embassies there who are posted to save them, to bring back the people of India. But again, when you go to another country, when you work there, you are still, of course, you are entitled to the Constitution of India. You are bound by their laws as well. But all I am saying is, you are enjoying stability here. When you look around, you want to go walk into Capital Mall here. I think that's the mall that you have in Kannur. You can walk there and then you can buy anything. You can go even at 11 o'clock, or you can go with your parents, you can drive around. But there are countries, let me tell you, where you don't get this privilege. So just don't aim at going out and changing your citizenship. That is not the end. There are a lot of opportunities that are coming back to India. Now, I've spoken to you about brain drain. Let me tell you what is happening now post-COVID is the reverse brain drain. There are a lot of people who have finished their work. I mean, there are some people who are coming back to India. How many people did we get back from different countries because the taxes were increased? We had a lot of people, our own expats, who came back to the country. So India is the place. Invest in India. Think about India. Think about your own country. You can open tomorrow, you can open a consultancy. You can open another college. So think about it. So with that, I'll leave you with the last video of Adobe. This is the latest version of Photoshop. So again, this is a wonderful video where I'm talking to you about our products also, because you all are updated about technology. So we've used the recent version of AI, artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence, wherein it gets predictive. So you can see how Gen AI is applicable in our products. So take a look at it. That's where you just put a sentence of what you want, and then that comes up. Earlier we had to add it manually, and now generative AI is giving us that kind of capability to ensure that things are happening in a jiffy. That's about Adobe for you. Thank you so much for having me over here. I hope you have got to learn a thing or two from today's session, and I'm looking forward to learning from our next chief guest. A lot to learn. It's a jam-packed 4 days of agenda. Ensure that you're here. Ensure that you live the present. And 2 more points I think just struck my mind. Am I out of time? Do I have 5 minutes? Okay. Volunteering. Ensure that you volunteer. We have wonderful volunteers here today. It can be a management fest, it can be a small debate, anything. Come out and volunteer, selflessly. When you volunteer, you get to learn. You get to meet different people. So go ahead and volunteer. And then one last aspect I think that I wanted to tell you is have purpose. Ensure one of my teachers told me this. So when I ended the conversation, she didn't say all the best. She didn't say good luck and thank you. She said, have a purposeful life. Why are you here today? Why did you join Chintech? So that was a question asked. You need to have an answer to it. Why did we join? Why did I join Adobe? Why did Madam join Wells Fargo? Have a purpose. Every day when you wake up, just ask yourself one question. Why am I here? What am I here for and what am I going to do? When that question, these three questions are answered, and how do I do it? And I'm sure you'll be able to do well. And make mistakes. Now is the time. Make the right kind of mistakes and don't repeat it ever again. Okay, but when you go to an organization, mistakes can be costlier. It can have a monetary impact on your organization. Right time, learn. I think you have wonderful professors here. I've been talking to them in the morning. The right way and the right channel to give you all of the good energies. I wish you all the very best for 2025 and thereafter. All the very best, and thank you so much for having me.
Right? So a very warm welcome to all of you, and congratulations to all the young minds for making it to the esteemed Chinmaya University. So Hari Om, this is which I have learned in this morning, right? So I would actually like to take it from where Vaishak has stopped. Actually, learning is the key. I don't have any formal presentation. However, I am going to take you through my career journey from my experience and what was the key takeaways, what I have learned. So, I have a 20-year-old. What age group are you? I guess you would be like 20, 21 age, right? So, I have a 20-year-old daughter. She's doing her second year of degree in NICER, Bhubaneswar. So we always have a clash, like when I try to, educate her, or when I try to give an advice actually, okay, you do this in this way. She'll tell, can you please stop it, I know my way, right? So I don't want to actually give you any advices, but then like I want you to take through my career journey, how I have also come across the same way as you are. So much of enthusiasm, so much of curiosity in learning, and then I was not very good at my communication or something. So these are all the skill set which I have, which I will take you through. So before I begin, I just wanted to say thanks to all the Chinmaya Institute of Technology Management, Vaishak Krishnan, who has accompanied me to inaugurate the Library and Research Center, Principal Dr. Bimal B.O. and K.K. Rajan Sir, Chief Sevak CMCT Kannur, Sri Mahesh Chandra Baligar Sir, Secretary Chinmaya Mission Kannur, and Professor C.P. Srinath Sir, Zonal Director, Chinmaya Colleges, and other management committee members, faculty and staff, and my dear friends. So it's a great privilege for me to grace the occasion of the induction program here, and I'm so grateful for you having me here. So let me introduce myself. As Vaishak rightly asked, how many of you know Adobe? Many of you know because you have a product from Adobe. On a daily basis we are using the PDF or the Photoshop which you rightly explained. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you know Wells Fargo? I think many of will not know. Even I was not knowing about this company a year ago, right? So this is where I want to continue from where Vaishak has stopped. So India has lot of resources, lot of investment has been made in India. So to introduce you to my company, Wells Fargo is a financial institute in the US. Till the time I have visited US, I didn't know how big is this company. They are kind of if I can compare it with the Indian banking, they are like SBI, they are everywhere. They are in investment banking, wealth management, credit cards, you just name the financial services and Wells Fargo is there. So till the time I visited few times in the US, I didn't know like how big is this company is. So I mean, we have offices in huge offices in Bangalore as well as in Hyderabad and Chennai, and we are supporting the software development, the connectivity links, the internet, the data centers across the globe actually. So every data center in the US has been managed from Bangalore, or I mean from the offshore resources. So that way we have definitely a talent pool of engineers who are making this successful or making my day very easy. So as Vaishak explained, I'm sorry for referring your name every now and then. So I go to like different colleges on a yearly basis for campus recruitments supported by our HR. The only gap which I saw is the communication. Probably like people are having the right talent. Today someone asked about to the audience that why have you selected the Chinmaya Institute of Technology? I think only 2 people from the 70 crowd have just come forward and given your reason for selecting the Chinmaya Institute of Technology. So while you go forward, you need to basically understand the skill set, right? It's not that all your education is going to carry you forward. Education is probably giving you just the right platform to connect with the people and then probably bring you up in terms of how you are learning in a daily basis to make your life easier. So I think nowadays you can see a lot of YouTubers, crafters, ideas, everything is getting monetized basically, right? So that's all the skill set what you need in terms of learning on a daily basis. So with that, I have, I'm just managing a team of 70 to 80 people, and I have a team in Hyderabad, in Chennai, and in the US as well, directly or indirectly reporting to me. So this is a huge team which we manage infrastructure. I know it is a bit of technical side. I know that your background is either MBA or MCA. But then I'm from an engineering background, so I manage a lot of talented engineers as part of my organization. So this is what my daily work is. Probably it's all about managing challenges, what the company will be throwing next to you, probably on a hiring, or once you get the resource, she will be having another skill set which I don't want to have. So it's all about managing your challenges on a daily basis. So just to walk you through my career journey, I have passed out my engineering from Government College of Engineering, Kannur in the year 2001, and I was immediately got married with my parents' pressure, and did not get much time to think about the job or something like that. But then my in-laws and my husband were very supportive. And within 1 year, I have got my baby girl. So I have started my career with my 6 months old baby girl, right? And so I have started my career with BSNL. That's one of the semi-government organization wherein your telephone lines, or I think at least your parents would have an experience of calling the BSNL office to at least to give a complaint that my phones are not working or my broadband is not working. So that's where I have started my career. Down the line, I have completed there for around 4 to 5 years, and then I had my second son. So now, you may be thinking that this madam is taking us through, her family journey rather than taking her through career journey. Just hold on, it's not my. I was just trying to, highlight on the challenges which I had, right? So from then, after having my second baby, I have realized that this is not the place where I wanted to be on a long term, because they were they were totally a generation gap. I was in my 20s. I wanted to do lot of innovative ideas and stuff, and then the environment was not quietly supportive enough, to implement my ideas actually. because the engineers there were like, in 40 plus, wherein they don't understand, they are quite sure about the salary what they are getting at the end of the month, and they were happy with that. So I didn't want to be in that environment for quite long time. So this is my first learning. Do not be ever in a comfortable place, right? Do not ever, adjust with any comfortable situation. Like if you want to, come out of something, do something differently, please do that. So from there, like I have realized that this is not something which I wanted to do. I have started preparing for, for cracking the interviews. But then when you talk about, cracking the interviews, you might feel that, now since you're part of already a Chinmaya Institute of Technology, which is an eminent educational institutions across Kerala, you might be thinking that, okay, I have got an admission to a good college and this is what the end is. Trust me guys, this will never end. The learning is never end. If you don't update, like whether you are technical or whatever the skill set you have, you might go to the HR or you might go to the marketing. But unless and until you update yourself, you are not going to reach anywhere. So, so that was my first learning, that I didn't want to be in a comfortable position. And then I have started preparing for the interview, and then I have realized that I do not have that much of communication, because while in BSNL, I was interacting with, the field staff in my half Kannada and half English knowledge. I did not know, how to comprise a complete email as well. So this is where like I had to put in a lot of effort. So in that way, like you are lucky to part of an organization. While talking to Dr. Bimal yesterday, I got to see that the college is providing you the training in team building, leadership and communication skills. So guys, you have selected the best institutions in Kerala for now, right? So this is something like which I want to emphasize, that I have to, acquire a lot of knowledge on the soft skill side, basically, like how you're presenting yourself to someone, right? So, I mean, back in early 2000, we didn't have that, maybe like things have changed over the period of time, and I'm happy to see that, everything has been included as part of curriculum. So we didn't have anything like that wherein like, even if there is any voluntary programs or something, we just used to get shy away from that, right? We never used to come to the front and, organize something or provide something, nothing. Like we just be like kind of bookworms, just study what you have been told, just go and give the exam, get 80% of 90% marks, right? So trust me, like till my 4th year, my aim was only to pass the BTech exam, and I was also one among the 90 plus scored. But going forward, I never found that, okay, having 85 or having an above average score or 90 plus or 97 doesn't make any difference actually. Whatever the skill set which you add to that makes you unique. So when I spoke about, like when I started soft skilling, I did not have a lot of platforms to upskill myself. So it was my friends who were already there as part of like big organizations like Wipro, CTS, Siemens and all have helped me, right? In taking the mock interviews and in ensuring that I'm there as part of them. So this is again my second key learning away. It's make as much of friends you can. Not only turning left side and right side, turn 360 degrees and then understand like probably the other person sitting next to you will have, a lot of talents and you have a lot of learnings from him. As Vaishak mentioned earlier, she or he will be, your companion over the period of time, right? So I always treasure my friends and I actually see that I'm here standing in front of you only because of them. They have helped me at the right time to make my career life a better experience. So this is my second learning. After I have moved from BSNL, I have got an opportunity to work as a team lead in Accenture. So in software industry, basically, the designation doesn't make any sense. when you say team lead, I was expecting that I will be, leading a team of 5-6 people, right? But then when it came to when I came onboarded, I realized that it is team lead is just a designation actually. It doesn't mean that you are managing a team of people or something. So you need to be an individual contributor as well, and you will not know what kind of challenges will be thrown at you on a daily basis. Since we work with the networks, it's always kind of like, probably like you can compare it with a doctor who is undergoing, who's taking a surgery ahead or something like that. So every time when there is an issue, like you can see that if there is, most of you are Instagram users, right? If there was a glitch some time ago, if I remember back in 2021, right? So I think most of our young generation, I also call myself as a young generation. Okay, don't tell me that I am an old generation or something like that. So I mean, we were all so much worried that WhatsApp was not connecting, or we are not getting the Instagram updates, right? So this is where, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I have somewhere lost myself. So what I was telling is that, like, your networks, your personal connections would be like, kind of a lifetime investment for you. After having joined in Accenture and I don't know like how many of you have the visibility of networking and the technologies underlined. Cisco and Juniper are the highest platform who provides the devices basically. Like if you look at like your Airtel or your Vodafone, every telecom company will be using either of these products. So being a networking engineer, I wanted to be a part of Cisco actually at some cost. So I have started preparing for the basic examinations like CCNA and CCNP and all. I think most of you will be familiar, right? So I have started taking those exams and started clearing one by one, which has actually increased my confidence. Later I have realized that there is some exam which is called Cisco Certified Internet Expert, which that time, like 15 years ago, none from India have had. So I thought, like, why not me, right? So this is again another learning that, like, if I can be here today, I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it actually, right? So before I taken a decision on like being a CCI, I have never met any CCI in person, and I didn't know how difficult the exam was. But then, like, my decision was to go away with that, and with 1 year of continuous preparations, exam is really tough, guys. It's an 8 hours if I remember, 8 hours lab exam actually. So you need to show everything in front of the mentor that you have got the output. It's not a 1 or 2 hours exam, which requires like hard way of preparing. Like for people prepare for 1 to 3 years, but I was lucky enough to get my first CCIE in my first attempt, and I went to Sydney and had my cleared my exam. So that was my first international travel as well. So down the line, like once I have cleared my CCI, then I had that confidence that I can work as part of any product company. So that was my aim. Like this aim wasn't there when I was working in BSNL. So because my resources were limited, I had limited resources, limited help. But as and when you progress forward, you will be introduced to a lot of people. Your connections will increase. So that way, like you are basically like advancing towards in your career. So back in 2012, I have got a good offer from Cisco again as a network engineer. So I have joined in Cisco in 2012 as a contractor, because it's very difficult to get as a permanent employee in Cisco. So I've continued for 3 months. In that 3 months, I have showed myself that okay, how capable I am in terms of the technical knowledge, and I was lucky enough to get converted into a permanent engineer in 2012 itself by June, and then I continued there for 5 years. I have again upskill myself into the service provider, enterprise technology, and the data center. And back in 2016, I have got a feeling that I'm not taking care of my family well because my kids were growing. So I thought of taking a break from my career, and I was sitting at home. Like I didn't want to work for next 6 months. However, like there was a company which is a French bank again. They have reached out to me that they will provide the work-life balance, everything. And then I thought of, okay, why not? Then I have again changed my decision to join Society General, and I was working in the post of a technical architect over there. So another thing to quote is like when I took my third CCI exam, I became the first female in having all these technical certifications in the country. That is still continuing even after 11 years. So the success did not actually come to me in a day. To take my third CCI exam, it was my 7th attempt wherein like I have succeeded. So all the 6 times I failed, all the frustrations, the exams are quite costly. It actually takes you to around $1,800 to $2,000 only for the exam charges, and then like all the other expenses along with that. So I mean it's all about like how you are determined to take something, right? Even after failing 6 times, I never felt that okay, I need to step back, this is not my area. So I still figured out like what am I lacking in this. So if I'm feeling something, then there is something which is lacking in me. So mine was to find out like what is that, what I'm lacking in the technical knowledge, and I try to bridge that gap, and I again gave my 7th attempt. I was not sure actually whether I'll be cracking that exam, but with God's grace I have cracked the exam. So this is my another learning, like whatever, like whenever you are determined to take something, just go forward and do it. Do not become like as a person, I'm totally an introvert person. I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't think I never had a lot of people around me that and I am talking and I am the cynosure. I never had something in my mind. I was always a shy girl, sitting somewhere next and just doing my work in a silo. But then like the career journey have taken me to a place where like you need to meet a lot of people, because I work closely with HR and we go to all the IITs and IIMs to get all the graduates from there, right? So this is where like you need to grow, like upskill, active listening, and nowadays like there's another example. I mean during the pandemic we all have converted ourselves into the online medias. So all the meetings, everything happens over Teams or the Cisco WebEx or all the online platforms in office. However, the problem which the skill which I have learned during the pandemic is that listen to people. It's very important to listen to people what they say, right? Because in online meetings, what used to happen is 2 people will talk at the same time, and no one will notice whatever they are speaking. So it's all important, like whenever you are in an online meeting, to have the decorum of like introduce yourself. Yes, I am Nadira. Can I have my opinion in place, and then you talk about it. So I mean this is always like what I wanted to tell you is that once you have an MBA degree or MCA, I mean I think it is termed as post graduations. So this is not the end of anything. Like you need to still upskill yourself. You see like how many YouTubers are there becoming like so much of success. Do you think that they are just presenting the videos to you and they are making a lot of money? They are like, there are a lot of YouTubers, especially from Kerala, they are making hell lot of money, right? So, but then there is a lot of hard work which goes into that place. Probably they are good at something and they are educating people. Even in the online learning also, I never had that much of flexibility to have any online courses at that point of time, because internet was just a costliest affair back in early 2000s. And we used to wait for that modem tune. I don't know how many of you can relate it that, like when modem gets connected, you get that some kind of a tone. So we used to actually wait for that. So like nowadays you have Udemy, you have Pluralsight, you have lot of Coursera, lot of things actually, right? So along with your career program, along with your educational program, try to concentrate on like what you can learn as a skill. Trust me, none of the companies is going to ask you whether you have secured over 90% or over 95%. It doesn't make any difference to them, right? You have a minimum good score which is good enough. The other time, I'm not saying that you shouldn't actually like, learn something or, you shouldn't have marks. Don't tell that Nadira has come to the campus and she told that marks are not important. I'm not saying that marks are important. Marks are not important. And minimum marks or a good average mark is more than enough. Remaining your time, you actually have probably like, if I talk about my experience, I had very good marks in 10th, 12th and my engineering. However, I didn't get a good start as a career. But then it doesn't make any difference like where you start with. Now, most of my friends who were absorbed as, through the placement program, I may be looking a bit higher to them actually for now. It's all like about, like it doesn't make any difference where you have started, where you are now, right? It's not a relative term basically. How you have shaped up your career is that, make you distinct. So I feel that, most of you have, some kind of skill sets actually, right? So when I used to think about myself, I didn't know, where to start. I know software was not my thing. I didn't want to be a coder. That's all which I knew. I didn't know that there are a lot of other things which you can do as a coder. But I didn't have any exposure to that. That way, like you are being lucky, to be a part of this generation, right? Wherein like you have a lot of access to the internet, a lot of resources to utilize, a lot of YouTube videos and stuff to shape up your career. To continue my career journey, like I have in Cisco, I have continued for till 2016, and that's where like I wanted to take a break, and that's where like this French bank Societe Generale came to me, and they told that they will give complete work from home experience and stuff. So I thought, okay, why not? Then I have taken that. And it was again a new technology which is thrown to me. So I was supposed to learn the technology on my own and then hire the resources and then train them. Just think about something like you are into MCA, like only, what your professors are teaching you. But then like, understanding each of your interest area or the technology even makes a different, like totally, it will be a new addition to your skill set. So I have got the exposure to work very closely with top-notch engineers of my ex-company Cisco, and then we developed, some kind of tool, and I have actually educated it to my company. I was volunteering that I will hire a few people, and then I have, demonstrated each of the tools, skills, everything, and like this I have formed a team. So here again the leadership is the key, right? So you need to have that, the leadership inside you. Probably it's not something, when I think back, it's not something which I had during my college days or my school days. This is something which I have developed, or you can call it like, it is something which I was lacking. So this is where I have added that leadership skills as well, and I form a team, and the company was totally like, happy about the work which I did. Later back in 2020, it was, it was my daughter's 12th and a lot of, commitments at home. I thought of taking again a break, but then like I have moved to IBM as a manager. Again, when coming to the manager skills, I don't think I have completed any of the management courses then. So I had to depend on like all the YouTube videos and like talking to people, through your networking, LinkedIn connections to make me there as a manager. Then I have taken a few courses from Udemy, Pluralsight and Coursera in the short-term management aspects. So that way, like I have cracked my interviews in IBM, but then like later when I joined as a manager, I felt that cracking interviews was much easier, than doing the job. So as a manager, like you have a lot of challenges, your team, managing the budget, managing the resources, they would be like, some kind of critical deliveries, planned, and few of your engineers would be on leave. So there are a lot of challenges which you need to basically, outcome on a daily basis. So I have taken it up as a learning. That's again, even after, I think, 18th year of my career, I have joined in IBM. Even then, like I have learned, new skills in getting all these things done and to move away with the requirements of the organization. So I have continued in IBM and Kindle, which is a subsidiary of IBM from 2020 till 2020 to end. So that's where I realized that okay, I'm now good with management, right? So I need to take up a more responsible role of leading a whole team. But then like after having decided that things were not easy for me, then again I have to go back to my studies. I think 6 months or something which I have prepared along with the courses, whatever there in the available resources, and then I could become this in the position what I am today. So I became the vice president of Wells Fargo. The complete technical infrastructure is being owned by me. So if anything goes wrong, like in terms of any data center across the globe, I will be held responsible. So I have around 5 managers reporting to me, and then I think 70 to 80 resources reporting to them as well. So this is where like how I have shaped up my career. While talking to Dr. Bimal yesterday, like I have just got to know that the Chinmaya Institute of Technology is providing a lot of trainings on team bonding, team building, and a lot of activities. And so my advice to you is just to make use of that. And like I'm sure that you will be emerging after 3 years in a much fruitful way. Like I want all of you to be a part of either Adobe or Wells Fargo campus hiring, or how we can collaborate with each other, with the management in a much better way in the coming days. The other thing is I will just end with a quote from APJ Abdul Kalam. So that's never stop fighting until you arrive at your destination place, and have an aim in life, continuously acquire knowledge and work hard, and have a great perseverance to realize the great life. So just to add to that, I mean, you may find that okay, that she became a vice president of Wells Fargo, and the life doesn't end here. I have enrolled for a management program from IIM Calcutta, which is starting from 2024. So that's again like a 2 years continuous dedicated learning for me from probably world renowned professors, and I'm actually excited towards those 2 years of my life actually. So what I would like to say in a nutshell is learning is like you have to carry it throughout your life actually. With that, I will conclude here, and I think probably with my life experience, I made some influence in your life, right? And stay connected. I am there in LinkedIn, and I wish you all the very best today, and probably will meet you probably in person after the session. Thank you so much.
I just had 2 aspects that I just missed out. I will not take much time. One aspect is you may not get everything that you ask for. So right after you finish your MBA or MCA, you may not get the same role that you would wish for. maybe you may be doing one, you may be expecting one particular role, and there may be an opening for something else. I'm not saying go for entire, you've done your MCA and you have a whole different role open, something like human resources, and you have to get hired and accept that offer. That's not what I'm saying, but it is okay to compromise a little on the role, because after you join an organization, you can always have that opportunity to move internally. Number two, how many of you have Amazon Prime and Netflix subscription? Raise your hands. Spotify, music, movies, yes? For 2 years, for the next 2 years, my humble request to all of you would be, redirect that money, invest on LinkedIn. Get your LinkedIn subscription. Use a paid account of LinkedIn. Even before your MBA, 6 months before, you can, I don't know if you offer internship here. Internship, is it a part of the curriculum? Yes. Reach out to recruiters. There are a lot of organizations today that offer internship for people, more so for women. Go ahead, understand, you get that visibility with a paid subscription. Honestly, I don't have one at this moment in time because I'm no longer in talent acquisition. So, but I expect all of you to have it. And learn about the organization. When you go for placements, again, how many, the question was asked, how many of you know about Chintech before joining? Then answers could have come. So ensure you, before you go to a placement organization, understand what the organization, so the entire intent of us speaking about our organization is because that will give you a thought or so to also do that research before you go ahead and attend placements. And not just about the organization, the interviewer. Sometimes you may not know who the interviewer is, that is okay, because it won't be disclosed until the last moment in campus recruitment. But if you know, so suppose we both of us came today. So how many of you all researched our LinkedIn profiles? And just to close it off, I just have one, I don't know who's Arya SK. Do we have Arya SK here? Arya, Anaga SK. I don't know if Anaga is a part of your college, I don't know. Alumnus, okay. The reason is, ensure that you all go ahead and add people. How many of you looked through my LinkedIn, mine and madam's LinkedIn profile before we came here? No? Yes, that is important. So please go ahead and look at it, read our bio so that you get to learn our experience. Not only ours, any speaker for that matter. All of you have well decorated professors. They all have rich experience. Where did they get, what kind of articles have they published? So please go ahead and do that. And just to finish it off, I just have 2 goodies that I have to give. So I will be giving 1 goodie of Adobe to you, this gentleman. What is your name? Abhilash, and 1 for the volunteer here for, I can just carry 2. I wish all of you can come over to Adobe, and then I'll be able to, the next time perhaps I'll be able to give you more goodies. But Abhilash for being very attentive and very focused on the entire discussion. So I was very closely observing Abhilash. Huge round of applause. And everyone, thank you so much for your time. And of course, what is your name? Afra, Pooja, and both your names I don't know. But I just have limited goodies with me. But I think all of them have fantastically volunteered. So huge round of kudos to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for... Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us with your career journey, your experience and learnings in the process. As we take our initial steps in building our career, your takeaways are sure to show us the right path to success. Now I request our respected principal to hand over the memento as a token of love and gratitude to Ms. Nadira Hasta.
today is the first day of the induction program, but this was preceded by a foundation program separately for both the MBA and the MCA students. The MBA foundation program commenced on the 10th of July and went on till the 21st, and we were very happy to have our friends from MCA joining on the last day. So here is a little reminiscence of the moments that we all spent together, and we request everyone to go through the moments. I'm sure you'll relish the memories because they were the first memories many of you made in the classroom, and I would also request you to pay attention to the amount of different learning approaches which were taken during the foundation program, and of course the active participation of the members there.